So the dawn arises without further event.
Gotta find dawn music. Let's go back to that. That's fine.
All right. And then does Elrond allow everyone to just kind of wake up at their own time, or do you, like, it's the end of your shift, time to get everyone up for breakfast, or how do you approach this?
At the end of the shift, I will actually tend to the horse first, and then if they wake up while I'm tending to the horse, then I'll wake them after if they don't.
Gotcha. Okay.
Give them a chance to wake up naturally. I'm nice like that.
Understood. So yeah, get that moment. Take care of the horse. Bessie definitely seems very well rested at this point. Much more rested, a little more, to her old self. Spirited, yeah. So you guys wake up more or less in your own time.
I go and check on Bessie.
She seems very well rested.
Exciting.
So then I assume you guys basically make ready for breakfast, and are getting ready, then head back out into the road then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we've all gone through one ration so far, right?
Correct.
Okay. Forgot to put that in the tally.
So, there were no. So, just kind of give you guys. We'll make sure you guys had that opportunity to give some more opportunity to roleplay if you so choose. You guys wanted to press on to just the next major point in the story at this point, or did you want a little more time for some roleplay between your characters? Because otherwise, we can kind of fast track up to Willoughby's farm, your destination.
I'm probably fine kind of skipping around to that because we've just done like 3 role-playing segments back to back.
Hey, yeah. I'm perfectly comfortable with letting players do that too. It's only when they're like demanding of it to me, and I'm like, I'm tired. It's 2 a.m. Let me sleep, because that has happened to me. Mm-hmm. That's only the part where I'm like, no, I got to put my own well-being above the game. I'm sorry. So,
yeah, I'd say unless they have something to interact with, I don't see a whole lot happening.
Okay. So yeah, so the next couple days are making a note, sorry.
I'll keep an eye out for interesting things we could pass on the way.
Gotcha.
12.
There's some fun sights along the way as you're going. After you meet the one fork that took you guys north, you crossed over a bridge over a decent sized river. It's actually pretty hefty river. This one would take you back up to Heart Sea. Mm-hmm. And then next couple day or so later, you guys come to the next major fork in the road that takes you northwest. You take that, and then there is on the third day, about mid-afternoon, so you like a couple hours you probably got like maybe 4 hours before you'd have to set up camp for the night. You guys come across the trail that would be the pathway that would take you to Willoughby's farm. At this point, you guys have long passed the crowded forests of the further south. You are more open grazing areas, open grasslands, so great farmlands. If you were to continue on this road further northwest, you would hit up the mountain. You would hit the mountains. You would hit one of the set of mountains that ring around the realm, which kind of sounds like a lullaby.
George listened to it when he was younger.
Quite possibly.
Ring around the mountains. Even though that was literally just a song about the Black Plague.
Well,
I was ring around the rosy.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, that's what he was.
Exactly.
So, but no. So you take the pathway down, like the trailway, and you can see definitely pastures set up, fences set up. From that kind of stretch out and help segment the farmland, grazing land. So, and in the distance, you can see there is there's a barn, like a large barn, farmhouse, and appropriate, like, I don't want to say cattle range, but pens. That's the word I was looking for. So pens and corrals for sheep. So.
Nice. We took the sheep-related quest, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
The one where, like, a guy's some of his sheep go missing and a farmhand.
A farmhand was mauled, yeah. That's the one I took.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get there, we need to talk to that guy, because he probably knows more than anyone else.
It's true.
I feel like someone who gets mauled is more likely to have information.
Now, whether or not they're willing to give that information.
They literally sent us a ticket to do it.
Well,
they asked for help.
Depending on how much they were willing to give.
Yes. Well, that's why we have a party where everyone except one person has really high charisma.
My charisma's all right.
Oh, I thought Yanni was the one with bad charisma. I forget. I haven't seen the character sheets for everyone.
I don't know Yanni's charisma. I know my spellcasting's based on charisma, so.
Outstanding.
I mean, like 3 of us are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys approach the farmhouse and greeted by older man.
Hello there.
Hello. This is what can I do for you folks?
We're here about your missing sheep.
Yes, you must be from coalition.
Yes.
Well, come inside. Be dark in about an hour, so you might as well get set up, whatnot. Me get you a supper. I'm Gem Willoughby.
Ooh, it's dinner and a hunt.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yes, hello.
Eldrin just nods in his
I
direction.
take it as
I am Amberheart.
Muffin.
never heard. Nothing. Okay. He kind of looks at you quizzically for a moment. He kind of looks at the both of you guys for a moment, like, okay.
Are you people or animals?
A little in there, but
I don't know how
like,
rare our races are supposed to be.
He's definitely looking at you guys with some curiosity. So, but not to the point where he's like, I don't want to talk to you or anything. He's just like, okay, it's a rabbit that talks and it's a big cat that talks, and both are walking upright. What was that?
Is this guy a man, like a human?
He is human.
Okay.
So he's basic.
So, and he begins to explain as he kind of, takes you into the house. He begins to explain that it all started about a couple weeks, like a month ago, where they're they're tending to the sheep herd, and they started noticing that some of their sheep had gone missing. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay. And later, he had discovered him and his sons, some of his farm hands. They began to find sheep carcasses in the pastures, and the sheep's definitely scared. And well, they can't, obviously this is no good because, something's pecking away at his herd. So
it's not a good thing to have happening.
No, absolutely not.
It's one of the no things.
So, and at first he was like, okay, well, it's probably wolf or something out here, maybe like that. But even after looking, none of the fences were damaged. None of the fences looked like they've been damaged or otherwise like pried into. There's no burrows under the fences. Mm-hmm. And when they're like, okay, well, we got to get somebody out here to do this, take care of something. They're like, let's just set up have some of the farmhands keep better eye out there, keep better watch on the herds. And one of them had gotten pretty badly mauled by something out here. So.
That's not good.
By something?
He didn't get a good look at
the creature?
Okay. He didn't recognize. He couldn't say. He's like, let him tell the account. So he takes you into like a different room in the house where there is a younger man, a younger elf. He is laying in bed, and he has got a lot of bandages. He's got like bandages over his head, like half of his face, like half of his head. He has got bandages on his torso. One of his arms in a sling. His other hand that's not in a sling is also been bandaged up, like up to the not to the elbow, but like halfway in the forearm. So, from what you can see, and then he's covered up in a blanket, just kind of keep him warm. So what do you got? So, he's like, tell them what you saw and everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, for a moment I was like waiting for you guys to say something.
I was like,
that's right. Like, oh no, wait, I said I was going to say something.
I don't know if we've even talked about the quest yet, or if it's just Elrim's still the only one who knows.
Well,
I'm guessing we probably all know what it is by now.
You guys probably read it because it was still on the board when he walked over to it and marked it as ours.
And or it's easy enough to have kind of brought up in conversation over the next couple of days. So
yeah.
And I apologize. I was going to say something, but then my neighbors kind of got very loud walking up steps, so I had to mute myself.
Delete neighbors.
I wish.
Anyways, so he begins explaining that they were, he was out, keeping one eye on the herd, making sure that, nothing was awry, nothing was wrong. Trying to see if he couldn't catch something. When all of a sudden he heard some kind of rustling sound or something, which is kind of odd because he wasn't out in anywhere bush or any of the woods or anything like that. And something had pounced on him with tremendous force. It tore some good gashes into him. It had broken his arm and it started to like tear out his face. And he was only just able to like kind of fend it off, like barely, before like kind of like scrambling and running back to the house. Or to the house. To which then they tended to his injuries. He didn't get a good look. There was blood in his eyes when he was trying from a head wound, from his head wound. So he couldn't get a clear look at what it was. All I know is it was very big. It was bigger than he was, and that.
And he's a normal sized person.
Indeed.
He's taller than like all but one of us.
Just about.
Wow. Possibly two.
Yeah. But yeah, so it had like severe, like cut up his hand. He basically had like broken one of his bones in his leg, so he's gonna be like laid up for a while. So everything kind of mends and heals.
And I'm guessing he didn't catch whether it had fur or not.
He did at the scene when he did fend it off. They were able to take a look at like where he was at to assess everything. Obviously, there was another sheep that was missing at that point. But there were signs of feathers. Feathers, not fur. So they collected them. Once he says that, they go, they show you the guys the feathers. They were kind of collected. This small like bundle, loose feathers that fell out of something. Or in parts of it, some of it are a little bloodied from looks like him fighting it off, and they actually managed to get a hold and like tear a couple of feathers out or whatever.
So it's some sort of bird creature.
Indeed.
Yes.
Strange.
I thought we were done with things in trees.
So I guess does it appear in certain areas, or should we stake it out somewhere?
It does seem to have been. They do think that it's kind of. They do think. Sorry. They think it is following the herds to some degree because they are trying to keep it away from where the initial attacks were, but it seems to be kind of the attacks seem to be following. They're a little more distant and in between as they're moving the herds away from the danger zones, as it were.
Yeah.
But
so, how long has it been attacking?
they said this has been happening for about a month.
Oh, yeah. A month. Okay.
So, sounds like it's more hunting than trying to
cause a disturbance.
Yeah.
I guess we should.
Won't be relevant, but can I try and do divine sense to see if there's anything involving like undead celestial fiends or like consecrated or desecrated anything?
Okay. You take a moment, kind of. You take a moment and kind of like look it over. You kind of tune out kind of the world to kind of get your judgment in, kind of thinking for a moment, kind of looking at everything. And you do not sense anything of the other planes. You do not sense anything of the undead or of a truly diabolical, evil nature. So while not able to determine that, you haven't able to eliminate those as potentials.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like there's any true malice involved. So maybe it is best to just try and watch it. Maybe not stay everyone together as a group, because that might make it seem as if it's going to have more of a problem than it expects.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe spread ourselves out.
Are you thinking we should be on the next watch for this beast?
Do we know
Possibly.
what
I
time
have-
of day it attacks yet?
Judging by this description, it sounded like it was more of a night attack, or at least evening.
Does the farmer have anything to chime in with?
Unfortunately, that's about all they have right now. He's prepared to pay, as part of the additional, coverage payment for the agreed upon payment of like your services. You're welcome to, stay here with my family. Lodge yourselves here. That's not an issue. For however long this needs to take, because can't be losing my farm because of some monster creature or whatever this is feasting on my herds. So
Right. I just wanted to know if he had any added insight to what we've just been speculating about out loud.
no,
Like
that's
time
about
of
it.
the attack, etc.
No, it is predominantly, as you guys have said, it is predominantly a nocturnal attack of some sort, either early evening, or like late evening, or earlier in the, or like mid through night. So,
I have no issues of staying up all night, as long as I can rest a little beforehand.
Yeah, it works for me.
Agreed.
Come to think of it, we don't all have the innate ability to see just as well at night, huh?
I don't think we have any humans, so we probably all have dark vision at least.
Yeah.
There are a lot of non-human races that do not have dark vision.
Really? I thought the main thing was that humans were just the ones that didn't have dark vision, but they had like +1 to
No.
other things.
Like
think I
furbolgs
do.
don't.
Mm.
as I say, there are a few I believe that are just like if they don't have low light vision or dark vision, or is it just low light vision nowadays? I forget.
It's dark vision.
I've heard dark
Okay.
most often.
Like there's two parts to the dark vision where it's like at a certain distance they can't see quite as well. Like it's black and white, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if it's dim light, you can see as if it's bright for 60 feet. If it's complete darkness, you can see as dim light, but only monochrome for like half that.
Gotcha.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone come into an instance where the fact that it was in monochrome mattered.
It doesn't really. It usually doesn't, but every now and then you never know.
So I'm just trying to take a glance here, and I'm not sure if halflings actually have night vision, do they?
Yeah, I don't think I do.
I'm pretty sure I have it on mine. Right now. Where would
I
it
believe-
be?
Halflings, elves, half-elves don't have it. Well, with the exception of drow. But
Where would it even
Yeah.
say it?
it'd be under racial features.
Like other
Or
proficiencies? Or I'm not seeing
Or it
racial
could also
features.
be under. Oh yeah. I'm looking at the
Oh.
PDF from the web or from the tool that I was using,
Mm-hmm.
and because it shows
I
it
gotcha.
in my features and traits section.
No, it looks like dwarves do have dark vision, from what I'm seeing.
Mhm.
Halflings do not.
Okay, yes, I don't then.
So you two are going to be a little more.
Yeah. I think it was just that I was
Restricted.
looking at a bunch of classes and like most of them had it.
Maybe you can just bring some torches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, should we get a lay of the land and, see how far the pasture goes out?
And see if we can find any tracks.
Yeah,
Sounds like a great plan.
figure out places to watch.
So for those who are like trying to get a good lay of the land, kind of figuring that out, go ahead and give me a survival check. For those of you who want to examine scenes for tracks, anything like that, go ahead and make it as a perception check instead.
I will make a perception check.
Yeah, perception.
Do perception.
19.
I'm
5.
gonna go survival. Say 7.
I would have gotten a 7 if I did survival, but perception seemed more helpful.
Trying to get those numbers down. So, Jorad, you said you were making a perception check. What did you get? What's your result again?
I got a 13.
13? Okay. Yanni, what did you say?
So far, nothing.
Oh,
12.
okay. 12, and that was for survival? Or was that?
That's for perception.
Gotcha. And then, Amber Heart, you were doing survival, correct?
I got a 7.
Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
I also got a survival 7.
Survival 7? Okay.
And that's with a +2.
Mine's with a +3.
Oof.
Yes.
Shazbot.
That's what we in the business call a bidoof.
Yeah. Okay. So Amber Heart and Muffin kind of begin to look about, sizing up the land. There's a lot of ground to cover. You're seeing, because I mean you can get some of it's very hilly,
Yeah.
so you definitely catch up some of the different high spots. You're looking around and just it's far too open for you to like discern any particular for either of you to see any particular advantage. Or particular but you can definitely see there's a lot of vantage points to kind of keep an eye out for the herds as they're moving around.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, I mean, there's the occasional tree, but that's mostly for like shading. You can see because they kind of because of like just the general size of it. It's not like huge. It's not like forests around here. It's just an occasional tree or a couple little spots of tree, like not hillock, but I can't remember the term that I was going to use. With the combined efforts for the perception, as you guys are looking around, you see. So you guys quickly find a couple different signs of like where there's, some of the blood spatter still like dried and old at this point from different attacks, as well as when you were kind of directed out over there. You find some of the different tracks. There's a lot of grounds trodden upon by the sheep and the occasional farmhand or other shepherd from the family.
Shepherd.
But kind of sifting through all of that kind of quote unquote noise, you find some tracks and some markings that are a little more incongruous with everything else. Suddenly appearing onto the ground, like making its presence onto the ground, you find what appear to be hoof prints, along with some gashes and claw marks into the ground, notably wherever you find some of the signs of the attacks and whatnot. So along with a couple other feathers that may have just been overlooked or not bothered to be picked up because they're like, well, we got stuff for the first time.
Huh. So, who is it that's found this? Everyone, or just the perception check people?
The perception people, the perception crowd.
Okay.
Yep. So Elrim, Elrim, you notice some of the tracks in particular. Jorad, you're noticing the feathers and some of the blood spatter. Yanni, you're kind of like, yeah, these are the fleet of spots where they kind of directed us to where they're at, kind of help lead, to based on the description of like, oh, this is where the attacks were and everything.
I found tracks.
Here's some feathers and blood over there. I guess that's where one of the deaths happened. And ugh.
Tracks.
Yes. Tracks are important.
I'm guessing it didn't catch fully what you said.
Are the tracks followable?
That's the part where you guys are a little caught off, is that there's only like the tracks only seem to appear for like a couple, like trying to recreate the scene a little bit. It seems that whatever was caused the tracks, whatever this creature is, it appeared, like it pounced, it landed for a moment, it got here, and then it, scuffled, it attacked whatever sheep it was able to get a hold of, or munch on for a little bit, and then it disappeared. It vanished once again. Again, there are no, and again, concurring with going with what the Farmer Willoughby had explained, there are no signs of burrow marks or digging, any kind of digging, so nothing subterranean or going underground. There's no damages to the fences, so whatever it is just cleared them or otherwise just bypassed them in their entirety.
Yeah.
Burrow marks or digging, So. any kind of digging, so nothing.
So these tracks aren't like followable after the fact.
There's no. Correct. You're able to. Well, actually, no. So you got 19 altogether. So when you're looking at the tracks, when you look at the tracks, and you're like, okay, well, I'm seeing the prints and everything like this. And then when Jorah brings up the, hey, there's blood spatter, there's blood here, there's some feathers. You guys start to kind of think about and look around like, wait a minute. And you do notice that there are, like, in a general path heading more north towards like the rockier, hillier, the mountainous area, there do appear to be some more, like, not like a steady trail, but like you'll see the occasional feather that like may have gotten stuck and like didn't get blown away. It was just easy to overlook. Going up there, you begin to think about it, and you're thinking, whatever this is, combined with the feathers, it's obviously some kind of flying creature of some sort. So, whatever attacked, it came in, attacked, landed for an attack, got whatever prey it was getting hold of, and was flying north to the mountains. So, potentially, whatever's up there, you figure might be a lair, might be a nest, or it could be just a feeding point, some kind of safer place for it to feed.
Okay.
And just by looking, how far do we think that would be? Like, would it take another day or two to get to it?
By foot, yeah, probably about like a day, like a few hours. Let me clarify, by a day. When I say by a day, I mean it's like a few hours.
I mean, that doesn't
So
seem
should
to
we
be
go check
stopping
it
us.
out, or?
Yeah, it looks like we got our work cut out for us.
Okay. So just so you know, by the time you get there, you would estimate that it would be after dark. So just kind of a heads up to you guys.
If it's gonna be after dark by the time we get there, it's gonna probably be heading for another hunt.
Yeah. Maybe we should leave first thing in the morning tomorrow.
We could kind of watch here and then just leave in the morning if it doesn't show up.
Yeah.
I think that's the best play.
Yeah.
As you guys did previously discuss, there was the concern that was brought up about like if you guys were in a large group, it might be more of a deterrent to whatever's coming in. Do you guys want to still kind of stay very obvious? Do you guys want to disperse? Do you guys want to be hidden? How do you guys want to approach?
I think it would be good if we made it like we were just extra farmhand, so a little ways away from each other, but not enough that we can't see each other and get to each other.
Okay.
And we could maybe have trying to think. I'm guessing it's just Yanni and Muffin who would need the light.
Yeah. You know us, the appetizers.
Well, I'm not the one who chose to be hors d'oeuvre size.
No, you're god size.
I'm gonna say.
Fair enough.
Maybe we.
That's that's feasting.
Maybe we could have those two stay next to each other. One or both of them with
I got it. We'll do the thing where we wear a large cloak and stand on each other's shoulders. No one will ever think it's us.
The rest of us
We're too big to carry
stay
off.
in the cover of darkness.
I think I could hide somewhere, actually. Are these like tall grasses, or?
I mean, they're tall for Yanni and Muffin, maybe. But
So
for you
we can
guys,
hide
it's probably
easily.
like they're about
that's
like
right.
just below knee height.
Actually, now that I think about
So,
it, birds don't really do anything with smell, do they?
what was that?
Birds don't really do anything with smell, do they?
Birds smell. Ow! No,
Okay.
I just hit my I just hit the cord to my.
So we probably
my
mostly
earphone.
need to worry about being visually hidden, not like far away or something.
I mean, in real life, birds would be more visual hunters. They don't necessarily smell out prey.
Which is why I was also considering have those of us who can stay in a darker area.
Yeah.
Because then we don't need to, like, if we don't need fire to see effectively.
Assume the whole area is probably dark, right?
It's pretty reasonably dark. Yeah,
I'll
there's
just
some.
deafen the thing.
So, like, are we, like, planning for what it's going to be, or is this what's happening now?
Not sure I understand the question, unfortunately.
Like, so it's currently night, or?
No, you guys are probably about like another hour before it's like really dark. It's like the sun is setting at this point. So you guys have time before it's like proper twilight, and then still a little time before it's like dark. So.
Alright, so should we spread out a bit?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Me and Yanni can hide in the grass probably. If we want.
Okay.
Well, I'm still thinking you two are still gonna need to be able to see.
Oh, he's got them ears.
I can hear things. Yanni can probably climb a tree. But that's not very subtle, is it? Not to a bird.
Depends on what tree and where in the tree.
Yes.
Always like light a torch if it comes to anything.
Mhm.
Okay then. So it sounds like the plan is you guys are going to kind of spread out a little bit, keep each other within at least visual range, so you're not like, oh, I think that little dot over there is Muffin being snacked on by whatever's here.
There'll be no snacking today.
So you guys might be not. So it might be a little. So are you guys going to keep within range enough so that you guys could probably hear each other if you were shouting? I mean, it is a big open area, so your voice could carry, but how articulate that could be or understandable is debatable.
Another matter.
Another matter. Gotcha. Okay.
I was thinking we could do like a signal if we see it, but
I got my signal all prepared.
oh no.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be good enough.
It's here, guys.
Oh, God.
Start playing my little hurdy-gurdy jingle. Or something.
Okay, so sorry, I kind of got lost for a second there. It happens to me
It's all
sometimes. Okay,
I'm always
so you guys
lost.
spread out, kind of take different parts of like the general pasture area that you, the sheep are still kind of active and moving about. Some of the farm hands are also out there. They're keeping enough distance so that way, again, they're kind of doing what you're not quite mimicking what you're doing, but definitely kind of keeping an eye out on the way you're going and everything. So.
Are we like dressing differently, or are we just doing farm work and that's all we're worried about?
Well, that's up to you guys.
Wait, do we get paid extra if we're doing farm work as well? Because we're technically working for them in more ways than one.
They don't need any extra help with the farmhand. I mean, they'll graciously accept your help on that, but they can't really afford to pay you too much more
Ah.
on that.
I'd say, at least in my case, if I'm getting ready for combat, I'm probably gonna keep my stuff all set up.
Alright.
Yeah,
The sleeping
same.
bag
I'm
is
not-
prepped. Your sleeping bag is prepped.
A sleeping bag.
You said you're getting all your stuff prepped.
All right.
That's a bard humor for you.
Haha.
All right. So, you guys keeping an eye out on the watch, keeping an eye out on everything.
It's still just kind of the
Um,
afternoon, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it still just kind of the afternoon?
This was early evening. Yeah.
Okay.
So, keeping an eye out. Everyone, go ahead and make make perception checks to see how much you're catching. with Everything.
Ooh. I got a good one.
Not as nice, but I'll keep it.
19.
11.
I'm sorry. So let me see. So that was Jorad had a 19. You said.
No.
I had a
I'm sorry.
21.
Amberheart had a
21.
19.
Okay. Amberheart had the 19. Okay. Muffin, what'd you get?
11.
11. Okay.
11.
Yanni.
17.
Nice. And Elrim.
11.
Okay then. All right. So as you guys are kind of keeping an eye out, Elrim and Muffin, you guys are keeping a good visual. You're seeing where everyone's going. Everything seems to be kind of going smoothly.
There's definitely farm work happening.
Yeah. Yanni and Amberheart. Pair of you guys, again, noticing pretty much the same, noticing the same very much. Very much, you are keeping an eye out. Things are going like things are going a little quietly, but you do hear like you begin looking around. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. Let me try this part again. All right, Jored, you hear some kind of loud rustling overhead. Not directly overhead, just overhead. You kind of looking around and you kind of quickly get the attention. You kind of, as everyone's kind of keeping an eye around, Yanni and Amber notice that you've noticed something. They start to look, and the three of you do notice that there is some kind of animal, very large animal, very unusual silhouette, flying up overhead. It looks like, as it doesn't look like it's coming down for an approach. It looks like it's kind of noticed the activity, and you figure, okay, there's a lot of us out here, maybe not even that close together, but it's kind of spotted us, and now it's like veering off. So, and it looks like it's retreating back northward. And the three of you do get a decent look at the, I guess, at the silhouette of this creature against the night sky.
And it's leaving, huh?
Yes.
We probably should have like hid or something.
I thought we kind of were.
You guys were blending in.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is when it didn't kill any sheep, and now
Exactly.
we know that we can go and take care of it in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be still good information, because like we know it's cautious of people.
Yes.
No,
It's not
a
afraid to
specific
get
direction.
up close with them either. Or it's not totally opposed.
Well, if it's like one or two people, maybe.
So can we discern what the creature is by the silhouette?
Go ahead. For those of you got Yanni, Amberheart, and Yored, you may all make nature checks to try to identify what you saw.
So everyone but me.
No.
or
Elrim didn't get a chance.
Elrim as well.
You guys were like, as soon
Bad
as you kind of catch
perception.
the notice of it, you missed out the creature. You're like, it's there, right up there, and they're like, where? And it's like just behind this cloud bank, you know. So you guys missed your chance to kind of get a good eye of it.
Yeah.
So
I got a 10.
And combat's the only place where 1s and 20s matter, correct?
I don't mind counting 20s for helping out in these situations.
Okay, because I got a 20.
Okay, so
Ooh.
That was a natural 20, I take it?
Yes, it was a natural 20, otherwise it'd be a 19.
Gotcha.
This lad's all natural today.
All right. And then, what did Jored and, what'd you get again, Jored?
I got a 10.
10? That's what it was, okay. And then, Yanni?
I got a 3.
Okay. So, Jored,
Stars.
you know, yeah, I'm a bit kind of, as much as, you know, you grew up out in the mountain, as much as you were born and grown in the mines and everything, you're still kind of a city folk when it comes down to it. So you're like, I don't know this. Something big and flying. Amberheart, you have heard tale of, and you may have seen in the distance in some of your travels, you recognize this creature, especially collating with the, that's maybe not the right word, but let's stick with it for right now, of the combination of the animals it's preying upon, the tracks it's leaving behind, the feathers, its claws. This is most likely a hippogriff of some sort that is
what?
preferring to feed on sheep.
Oh boy. That's wow.
You do know that hippogriffs are omnivorous, so they'll
Yeah.
eat whatever.
If anyone's looking at the stream, I found some stuff. It's like a griffin, but instead of the lion part, it's a horse part?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So the back half is a horse. The front half is a large eagle, and it's still horse size, so it's still pretty bloody big.
Yeah.
You do know that they are reclusive, so if there are more than one of them, it's not going to be like more than like its mate and maybe any offspring at the most.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
So I'm assuming I'm just gonna tell everyone this.
that would be up to you. So
Yeah.
everyone, I assume you kind of just relay the information to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that because this is
Mhm.
not something I want to leave people in the dark about.
Absolutely. Understood.
Much appreciated.
Exactly.
Like I'd have to like dislike you to want to hide it from you.
Give
It's a
it
rare
time.
carnivorous slug. It will be a no problem.
Mhm.
And then based off of the information you guys do have from that, it does most likely have a lair, a nest of some sort that it's set up in the highlands, like the highland areas here / the mountain, like the lower portions of the mountains. And you figure most likely it wouldn't want to go too much higher into the mountain areas because there are bigger, nastier creatures that feast on hippogriffs. So,
Interesting.
So what's our plan from here?
well, it's still night, but you feel that your numbers have deterred it and it is fleeing back to its lair. So, the herd is probably safe for the night.
Yeah, we should rest up and head out tomorrow morning.
I'm okay with this plan.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Works for me.
might as well.
All right. So you guys bunk up in some of the farmer's spare rooms in his house.
Actually, I have a request.
Oh,
Before we rest, because it will be a long rest, I would like to try to cast spell list. Where did you go? Cure wounds on the injured farmhand to try and help speed up his recovery a little.
understood. Okay.
Yes.
So, after, whatever additional meal or kind of comforting in for the night, like kind of tucking in before that, you ask to go see the farmhand. You,
Can I offer to help with what little I can?
certainly could.
Because I have my own hands.
Jem would be like, the farmer will be Jem. He's like, you're welcome to it. I'm be grateful for whatever assistance you could have. Poor lad. poor youngin', well, relatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Elves are much more long-lived than humans.
Just tap.
So, well,
Not when they're injured in battle.
yeah. So, do you guys, like, when you guys approach, is there a particular,
What are we approaching?
like, focus, or, like, where are you laying your hands on? How are you approaching it?
Oh,
Feel free
that.
to describe it a little bit. Yeah. I mean, the three of you guys obviously may not necessarily have the immediate healing powers like them. But you're certainly welcome to witness. Nobody's really stopping you other than, like, a slightly confused elven farmhand who's like, why is there a whole bunch of people in this room again?
I'm not gonna focus anywhere specific. I'm just gonna let the spell take its course.
I'm
Okay.
probably gonna try and focus on the most injured area I can.
Okay. That would most likely be his torso, because he definitely cracked a few ribs. He's definitely got some nasty gashes there.
Yeah.
Amberheart can build ribs.
I mean, I have a healing pool of 5 HP, so
Okay. Matt, feel free to roll for your cure spell. Just to give me an idea of where you're at. Are you, and then Chris, right? Okay. This is why I was cheating and just using you guys' character names, because I have those right in front of me.
Yeah, but everybody's
but,
player names are real names are at the bottom of it.
That's true.
That's true.
But when I'm looking on my screen, it's too small. So, and I don't feel like enlarging it.
Oop.
But anyways, so Chris, how much of your land hands do you want to expend? I could assume you want to use all of it, but I didn't want to presume.
if we're immediately gonna go go rest for the rest of the night and essentially be a long rest, might as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I didn't want to assume, but I wanted to ask.
I got
All
a
right,
6.
so you're just doing 6? Okay. So you begin to lay. So Amberheart approaches. You begin to lay on hands onto the elf farmhand. He kind of groans a little bit as and you hear kind of a pop as some of the bones are kind of setting into place. So he's kind of groaning a little bit, but there's some immediate relief, and you can see some of the what portions of some of the healing and the bandages. You can see kind of you know that the magic is kind of it's going to be slightly discomfort because it is tissue mending itself, bone setting itself back into place, and then cheering up. There is that Elrim from a little bit off to the side. Honestly, I forget if Cure Lights is a Cure Wounds is
Cure
a
Light is a
touch spell or not. Okay.
It is
So
a
after a
spell.
moment of some invocation, some quiet invocation to himself, something, you can see his lips. Well, you can't see his lips moving. That's the point of the helmet, among other reasons. And he then lays a hand down, just to a spot on him, on his arm, and with a gentle touch, there's kind of a suffusion of further magic. You can kind of sense the goodness in it too, kind of permeate him. There's a bit of an further ease to his pain, and he kind of comes to after a moment, after all the magic is expended. The farmhand kind of flexes his one bandaged hand, and he actually kind of you can hear him try and do some motion in his left arm, the one that was in the sling. And you can hear audible bone popping, but that's just the kind of that, except in a shoulder. So
Part of the healing process.
I don't know if that actually came across on screen or not, but there it is. So, and he definitely looks grateful. He's like, "Oh, thank you, you two, thank you so very much." And everyone was like, "You still rest up. You did get almost eaten by something." So,
just a little bit of the munchies.
yeah. But yeah, so they're unwrapping some of the bandages, almost all the wounds, almost everything. He's almost completely cured up at this point, but they still want him to kind of rest easy, anyways. So
We did good.
Done it.
indeed, there is definitely a sense of satisfaction of righteousness done well. Kind of settles in. So.
I cannot ignore an innocent creature in pain.
Ah, yes.
Whether
Elves
it
are
be-
simply creatures.
Man or beast.
Which one are you?
Alrighty then.
Was that just like that inner moment where like Amberheart just like, okay, count to 5. Do not think about rabbit stew.
Honestly, a little bit.
Okay.
Yes. I didn't even realize that was in character.
It was, but it wasn't at the same time.
Okay. All right. So after you guys have healed the farmhand, you guys then, I take it sounds like you guys are settling in for the night then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, in the morning, there was no other attack. There was nothing else that came out. It was a quiet night for the farm, thanks to your deterrence.
Outstanding.
So,
Agreed.
so
Deterrents are beneficial.
And then I believe you guys had discussed that. I assume after you've eaten your breakfast, you're probably going to then head the best way that you guys could find, like the best trail that you could find that would lead you up into the highlands to figuring out the lair of this hippogriff, correct?
Yes.
Or is there another approach? Okay.
I don't think there's.
I think going in the direction of it is a decent approach.
Yeah. And apparently the dogs are out eating something. If you guys can't hear that good, that's great. My neighbor's dogs, and I mean that like 2 different neighbors, their dogs do not like each other. So when they're out collectively, you can hear it, even though it's from the furthest parts of my backyard.
Make them roll a friendship check. Oh, now I hear.
I'm
it.
afraid of what they. I'm afraid of what they would do to a 3-foot tall anthropomorphic bunny man.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
No, he's not the one with the
These
dice.
are not the smallest
I'm the one with
dogs.
the die.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably go visit him. Based on what you've told me of where you are, you're probably only like a 6 to 8 hour drive from here.
6 to 8 hours.
Man, those dogs are going at it.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. No wonder the what is it, what the heck is it called again? The hippogriff. No wonder it's not here. There's too many dogs fighting.
Yeah, I know.
They just
Farmhand's
they
got his
eat-
farmhand. Farmer
they
Jim
each
has
grab
got like
a wing and just
ice.
yank the thing out of the sky.
All right. So you guys begin the trek through the lowlands, the farmlands, up into the where it steadily starts to elevate and rise up, and it's about like 4 hours before you're like up into the rocky portions of the highlands and like basically the lowest portions of the mountain. So.
So I'm guessing you want us to decide what to do from here.
Yeah, sorry. I'm also starting to add to my map of like, okay, now I've said this detail, so I need to start adding this in here. That's not to say that while I'm being quiet, you guys need to be quiet.
Okay.
So feel free to stymie the silence.
Let's go on an adventure. Adventure is out there.
Right. So I
Huzzah.
just start finding the path up to, top part of the mountain.
Yep. As you guys are looking around,
And I'll keep an eye out while we're going there. No, actually, no. I probably tripped. 2.
Did you say you rolled a 2 for like trying to see if you avoided tripping or something?
No, to see if there's anything threatening or of note on our journey there.
Okay, no. Yeah. For some reason, I want to keep calling Muffin Yanni, but I gotta remember, Muffin. He's brown, like a cinnamon muffin. He's a muffin. So, okay, he's not a muffin. He's a rabbit folk.
Yes.
He's a bunny folk. So, okay.
He's also the only one named after food.
I mean, honestly, he's basically just a halfling, but I decided to reuse artwork from something else.
That is
The one
fair.
who could be food is named after food.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you're a cannibal, you've got heart in in Amber's name, Amber Heart's name.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a very twisted sense of imagination and sense of humor, so you never know when you may be coming across cannibals. Endo or exo otherwise.
I feel like that should be considered more of a prophetic warning than anything, but okay.
He's not wrong.
Don't worry, I won't think too much about Haas and Pfeffer.
What about Bunny Pepper?
What about Pepper?
That's what Hasen Pfeffer means. Pfeffer is pepper, Hasen is rabbit. So it's peppered rabbit.
What is this one?
The thing is, Levi's rabbit is Pepper.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you knew that already.
I forget that fact. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh right, yes.
So that's
Forgot
why.
his name was Pepper.
This one's
That's
Mia.
why when you said rabbit, Pepper.
This one's Mia, though.
Tasty.
Not that the stream can see her. Yeah.
Admittedly, I haven't had rabbit, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
If you make a stew, mine is
I
pre-seasoned.
haven't had it either, but
Mine is a pre-seasoned rabbit stew.
mm,
Maybe that's a bad thing to say.
Oh, there's we're getting off story at the moment. That's okay. So we'll save that for after the game.
Yeah.
If we remember.
Yeah. I'll just sit
Anyways,
around and
crafter
hold a rat.
session. Okay, so you guys take your time, kind of like find a few different like safer pathways, because I mean there's a lot of like there's some trail that there's some trails kind of like pepper throughout the hills and the rocky outcroppings, but most of it is like just natural erosion and everything like this. So you definitely are keeping an eye on your steps, keeping an eye out for each other. You don't want to lose each other. You don't want something springing up on you.
Yes.
Anyways, you come across as you guys are proceeding forth, you're definitely losing more of that kind of like natural trailing and just kind of taking your time, making sure you get good footholds, handholds, kind of make progress through the outcroppings and the rocky portions. So, no offense, I know that was a role you're doing partly as a joke, but so Muffin has not spotted any of the particular. Oh no, you did say that seriously. You're like, I'm looking for stuff. So
Me?
So unfortunately, you said you rolled a 2, I believe.
Yeah, I rolled a 2 on looking for anything of interest.
Gotcha. So obviously, you guys are trying to keep an eye out, trying to spot anything else. So if everyone else would like to make, you can. I will give you guys your choice on this one. You can either make a survival check or perception, whatever is a better skill for you to roll. You can use the better of the two.
Oh. If that's
Oh,
the
boy.
case, then mine was actually a 4.
Noted. I will make that note.
I'm
Meaning
rolling
I
perception.
still probably didn't see anything.
Yes, but it was less than nothing. Or it was more than just nothing.
I'm gonna roll perception to try and keep on the track.
Alright.
Hey, I got the same thing Muffin did.
4 altogether? Alright.
Since it doesn't really matter which one I roll, 14.
14? Okay.
I also got a 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yanni got
Rubbing
a
in my
14.
face. You got double digits.
And then what did Jorad get?
I got a 12. That's for perception.
Gotcha. Okay then. Alright. So, Elram and Muffin, you guys are definitely trying to keep better pace with everybody and trying to focus on trying to make sure you don't like slip and fall, because even though you're not necessarily super high up and the descent isn't necessarily, the angle of ascent is not necessarily too steep, it's still quite a painful, like bouncing off rocks the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to bound off of rocks than to bounce off of them.
I like
So
bouncing.
your attention is a little too focused there. Jored. Again, you're kind of keeping an eye out, trying to kind of posit and note like where different things are. As you guys are ascending, you do every now and then find like a loose feather that looks like it had fallen. And you're like, okay, we were obviously on the right track, clearly going the right
We're
way.
getting close.
Yanni and Amberheart ever seem to be like the tag team duo here, which is perfect. You guys are so in sync, but not that in sync. Anyways, you guys are Amber. I'm going to shorten that. Amber, you're like thinking on like, okay, this is most likely what we'd be looking for in their kind of nest. They would set up some kind of, it wouldn't be necessarily a proper bird's nest necessarily because they're still equine, like part equine. So you guys are looking for most likely a shallow cave, not like a deeper cave system, but like just a, just something that like might be like temporary shelter for like a couple travelers or something that they could probably like be in and whatnot,
And be outside of the elements.
Exactly. As you're kind of like educating everybody, like this is what we should be looking for, trying to find this. Then Yanni, you're like looking and you kind of like, aha, would that work? Would that be about right? And like, like a good like 100 feet above you guys, and like in the direction you're going, there is indeed what looks like a little hollow of some sort. That's probably the word I was looking for. That looks like it'd be about right. So you guys make your way up, and there's like a decent sized like ledge on there. It's not like it's like at the cliffside and just straight in there. There's actually a bit like a kind of like a landing in front. Reasonably flat. And you guys take a moment to, without like completely like just jumping up on the ledge going, ha you
The ledge.
But you kind of like peek up and over. You can see that there is indeed, when you kind of pop in and take a look in, you see that there is, and no offense, it doesn't matter which one of you guys see, I'm assuming you guys are all going to share the information.
Yes.
Common sense wise, you do see that indeed at like the back end of the hollow, you just barely make it out, is what looks to be the shape of a sleeping or slumbering hippogriff. Pop back down.
Shall I sound the alarm?
Should I shoot it in the head?
I don't know. Its head is like half beak.
True.
Like, sneak up on it.
Yes.
If we're doing sneaking, I should probably be separate from everyone.
Okay, Pike.
I'm fairly decent at sneaking.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong in that sense.
It gets worse as time goes on.
Oh, God. But since I have disadvantage on stealth.
I actually have decent stealth. Oh, you just like flat out have disadvantage?
It's
Because
the
of
armor.
chainmail.
Oh.
I
There's-
probably
there's-
have the best stealth here.
Breaking for a
I have a
moment,
plus
pretty good.
3.
there is an amazing comic called Order of the Stick that deals mostly in 3.0, 3.5 D&D, or 3.5 D&D really. They do a hilarious joke about armor and stealth. So, but back to it. Sorry about that. And shameless plug, I guess.
Yeah. No matter what, I'm getting the worst of 2 rolls with no bonuses.
Yeah, I have a +3 to stealth.
I have +6.
I have
I mean-
+2 to stealth.
Basically,
+3.
as long as one of us gets a stealth hit in, that just makes it a round of stealth, right? Or a round of sneak attack.
Yes. pretty
Only
much.
for the people who successfully sneak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the whole party, as long as the first hit was. Okay.
Well, what we could end up having happen is if I happen to fail, since I'm planning on being separated, at least to some degree, so I'm less likely to draw attention to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We could make it so it ends up focusing on me, and you guys could, if you succeed, could be stealth.
Ooh.
I'm just kind of
Yeah.
assuming I'm going to fail.
Well, I'm gonna be going up there anyway. I have the best stealth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So who would like to make the first check for stealth then? Try and
I
sneak
will
in.
go
it sounds like
ahead.
Jorid.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Alright, don't screw me, please. Oh, hell yeah. I got a 25.
Nice. Okay. So, Jared kind of like nimbly especially for a for dwarves are not necessarily known for their exceptional grace, not like an elf, but Jared
And
easily. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and what's funny about this is that Jorid is, yes, a dwarf, but he is fairly hefty.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny to watch.
He's a thick
But yes.
boy.
But he easily, nimbly kind of gets himself up over the ledge, the edge of the ledge, and then kind of does kind of like a quick roll, gets to his feet, and begins to sneakily kind of stalk his way up towards the hollow. Who is next? And how much more space do you want to give him?
I can.
Okay.
I'm using my stealthy die because it's tiny.
Does it help?
Let's. No, it doesn't. 8.
Ouch. 8. Okay.
That's with the +3.
Yikes.
All right.
Maybe it's not the stealthy die. I thought it was.
Okay. So, Jared, you can make you're pretty like you're closing in. You're about like halfway between like the party and the cave.
Is this one of yours,
Um,
Krista?
Muffin, he begins to clamber over the ledge, and like at first you like don't get good footing because you don't have the right height to get the the same handhold space. And then you kind of kick your feet, get back up there, and pop yourself up over, and you kind of land with a thud. And then, Jared, you kind of like freeze for a moment, you're like, oh shit. But when you both look over to into the cave, you see that the hippogriff is not alert to that noise. It simply kind of rustles and moves and kind of shifts its place while it's sleeping. So you kind of like continue moving forward and kind of like quietly, Muffin. And Muffin, you're about where Jored was. Jored, you are up by the mouth of the cave. Do you wish to proceed further, or do you want to wait for the rest of your comrades to get a little closer?
Well, I will have my short bow trained on it,
Okay.
and I think I'll go in just a little bit, but also keep an eye and wait for everyone else.
So kind of like breach the lip of it, as it were, and then keeping an eye out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just reach it.
Okay, you step in, and it's not that huge of a cave, as I hope my description earlier helped with. But
Yes.
nonetheless, you can definitely see it. You can definitely see various leaves, and grass, some branches and twigs that kind of make like a bedding for it. You can see all kinds of sheep bones and like ripped up pieces of sheep pelt. They have a pelt.
Yeah, so
Wool.
seeing all that, I think to myself, well, that's going to make a lot of noise. No matter how I move through it, so I just, stand my ground.
Yep. By the same token, you don't have much more ground to cover with it, so...
Yeah.
All right. So, Muffin, you're still outside. Who would be next in the line for getting up onto the ledge stealthily?
I can go.
Go ahead. That was Yanni, correct?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
climbing
All
one.
right. Just want to make sure I heard right, because
We're sending the
I
climbing
have
one to
sometimes hard
climb
time
the ledge.
differentiating voices. So, all right, Yanni, go ahead.
I got an 18.
18. All right.
I guess your dex is high, isn't it?
He is special. Or she is special.
So, with practice, Grace, and and practiced agility, you easily kind of like flip up over onto the ledge and kind of quickly move up to where Muffin was. Muffin, you are now at the edge of the cave. So, did
That
you
wasn't
want to
in
be?
character.
What was that?
That wasn't in character.
Oh, okay, sorry. No. I was actually just asking.
I get to the entrance to the cave. I've made it. No.
Everyone screams out Muffin. Anyways, no. So you're up at the edge of the cave. Are you going to be basically like behind where Jord was? Do you want to go to the other
Yeah,
edge
it
of it?
seems like a safe bet. We can have each other's back.
Okay.
I mean, unless everyone's
next-
just within like 5 feet of each other anyway in this cave.
Gotcha. Based on your previous discussion, sounds like Elrim, you wanted to go fourth for the stealth then, correct?
Yep.
Go for it.
I got a 17.
17. Okay. Definitely not with the same like level of grace, but definitely with a little decent athleticism.
Mhm.
Elrim climbs over the ledge, keeping low, keeping quiet, making sure like nothing loose on him is like jingling or anything. You move your way up. Yanni, you're at the edge of the cave. Do you take a position with Muffin? Do you wish to take the other edge, like the other end of the cave opening?
I'll go to the other end.
Okay. So, making a little map for myself, as it were.
Yes,
Muffin, Yanni. Alright. And then Elrim, you're moving up. You're out on the ledge still. That leaves... Pardon me a second.
Whoa,
Hmm.
that's destructive.
That's why I muted my mic for the stream, because I didn't want to cough in everybody's ears.
That's a lot
Sorry, I
of
couldn't do it fast enough for
damage.
you guys. What was that?
That's a lot of damage.
Just about. Anyways,
Sonic
so
did the thing.
let's pull this Band-Aid off. Amber Heart, go ahead and make your stealth check with
Alrighty.
disadvantage, as discussed.
And I'm going to assume by the time I'm up, Elrond's going to be up near them.
Yes, pretty much.
hmm
Elrim, which position were you aiming for? Did you want to join Yanni or did you want to join Muffin? Or did you want to stay out on the ledge?
The quieter of the two. The quieter of the two.
That would
Yanni.
have been Yanni. All right, noted.
Mhm.
So I got 7.
Okay.
The worst part is I rolled a 7, then a 17.
No.
Oh no, that is bad.
That's
Okay.
not that far off from me, though.
All right. So, as you kind of like get up under the ledge, your weight doesn't seem to kind of give too much away, but as you start to kind of like move, you definitely the gentle but definitely very quote unquote unnatural jingling sound that your chain armor is making, despite your best efforts to kind of like tighten it down, cushion the sound, or muffle the sound, but cushion yourself, as it were, is very clear and very audible. You're out on the ledge. Elrim is over by Yanni. Muffin is just behind Jored, who is just inside the cave. Jored, you're kind of hearing as the approach. Everyone's kind of hearing that approach as he's coming in. You definitely see the beast. The beast is stirring and is coming to. So, as discussed, everyone but Amberheart, you get a surprise attack on this guy, on the hippogriff, if you so choose. Or basically like a action.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go ahead and shoot it.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make a check.
Bow.
And consider yourself to have advantage at this point, because while it's awake, it's certainly not aware of your presence. I mean, it will be after everyone's attacked. So
I rolled a 15 and a 16, so that's going to be a 20.
Okay, because it's 16 plus your 4. Perfect. You hit, so you let loose your bow. Go ahead and roll for damage.
And since I have advantage, that is a sneak attack.
Indeed.
Alright, so... Oh, that's not good. That is good. I rolled 8.
8? Okay, then.
Damage.
Nice. Alright. Noted. So, you let loose your arrow, and you stick it like just above the shoulder, above the wing joint. On it's facing against you, so on its right side, its right flank. So, and it lets out an audible pain. It's still a little like, what the heck's going on? So, who would like to make the next shot or take their next surprise action? Out of the 4 of you guys, the 4 that could.
That's a good question.
I guess I can throw a dart.
All right. You can certainly try. So again, go ahead and make an attack. You can make it with advantage.
$17.
17. You hit. Go ahead and roll for your damage.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. All right. Noted. So after the arrow kind of sticks in, you kind of like get a dart out. And if I remember right, these are like lawn darts. They're not like bar darts. Mm-hmm. So you throw that in with, as strength that you can. And it sinks deep. It sinks deep into its hide. Into its left flank, into like just about the ribs. So, who would be next?
Sure, I'll do it.
All right.
Let's see. Trying to figure out where. I guess I just have a rapier.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be. Is this the right one? No. This. That's. I mean, is everybody but me range if I attack with that then?
Everyone else was at range.
Yeah. I'll figure out one of my spells then, because I haven't got to use any of them. Let's see.
That's true.
Okay. Let's see. Oh goodness.
Plus.
Okay. I will do the shrill whistle then,
Okay.
which
Go ahead.
so it's basically an arrow that gets shot, and let's see. It'll have to make a Constitution saving throw. If they fail, they take 1d8 thunder damage and can't hear anything until their next turn.
Gotcha. All right. What was the difficulty?
Difficult. Oh, where's that?
Yes, your spells have a difficulty. If I'm not
It
mistaken,
says
I believe
Bard,
it is.
level 1, Invocation, DC 13, spell mod plus 5, 1 action, 120-foot range,
I forget what your
BS.
spell modification is.
instant. Where was
So I
that?
believe in your case, if your difficulty, I believe is going to be a 13, is what it is, because the modifier
Oh, yeah,
would be
it's-
plus 5.
My spell save
'Cause-
DC is 13,
Yep,
then my spell attack bonus is 5.
that's what it is. Okay.
Okay, so it needs to have a 13 or higher on its saving throw then?
Or is
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay then.
All right.
DC 13.
So describe your spell. How do you? I know you said it's like a whistling bolt is what it is, or a shrill whistle.
Yes.
Describe it.
So I do a loud, shrill whistle, and it arcs through the air in the form of a bolt straight at the opponent.
Okay. So you kind of like put your fingers in your mouth, do the little, and this kind of like audible ripple in the air, this like audible and visible ripple in the air, strikes out, lashes out at it, and it lands on it, and it like hits it like, you know, square in the head, and it kind of like it kind of like shakes its head. It seems to be unaffected. I made my
What?
save.
No! Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Most unagreeable.
Most unfortunate.
All right, so that was Muffin. So the last one to act is going to be Elrim on the stealth round.
Okay. Was this attack with advantage or no?
Yes, you would still have advantage on this because it's still a surprise.
Okay. In Celestial, I will do a incantation and cast Eldritch Blast.
All right. That's another one I should add to my list.
With a 14 to hit.
All right.
Does that succeed?
That will succeed.
Excellent. For 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay.
Nice.
So, oops. I put down the 7 instead of take away the 7.
Nice.
So I wrote the
Uh-oh,
number 7
you-
instead of.
What?
No, you didn't. So. No! Anyways. All right. So again, Elrim does this murmured incantation in a language that I think only maybe one other character here can understand. I could be mistaken. That's okay. But then you kind of like hold out your hand and strike out from there this bolt of like cascading white light, and it kind of illuminates the cave for a brief moment, strikes the creature, and just like sorry, and then just falls over.
Oh.
It's the final blow.
Oh, it's dead.
Wait, already? We didn't even roll initiative.
Oh, nice.
Beauty of good tactics and surprise rounds.
Huh.
So
Outstanding.
I checked
Plus,
the
I
cave
might be
and just
a little
make
flat-
sure.
not-
I loot the
I'm
body.
sorry, go ahead.
I don't know.
I just make sure there's nothing else living in the cave.
Hi, Mia.
So Muffin runs over to the body and kind of look over
There's some bacon.
any valuables on it. Jorad, you kind of are examining the rest of the cave for evidence of any other inhabitants or anything like this. No, you just find some more recent kills. So more, but they're still dead sheep.
Mhm.
So nothing in particular. So unfortunately, there's nothing. I mean, unfortunately, there are no other inhabitants in the cave besides you guys, of course.
Yeah. Also good to know that the hippogriff does not have any children.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good work.
Oh, why am I still playing battle music?
I'm sorry. Actually, Muffin, go ahead and make
Yes.
a perception check. You were checking to see if there were any valuables.
Yes. 11.
11.
11. Because my modifier is just nothing. No, not this.
Looking around, you come across what looks like the remains of some, like, you see traveling clothes, like what was like some, like a shirt or like that. You kind of come across what looks like the body of like some traveler that this thing must have eaten.
Outstanding.
On the body, you do find 8 silver. 8 silver pieces.
Nice.
Wait, how do I put that in the thing? Because it just has the one spot for money.
I think
Or-
they should
or is
have. There
SP
should be
is
like
SP
delineated
silver?
by like copper, silver, gold pieces, and platinum. I think.
Oh,
And
that's
Electrum.
what those are? Okay, so like SP would be 8 now then?
Silver pieces.
Okay.
Yes.
Would be 8.
So it's copper pieces, silver pieces, whatever E is, and then gold
Electrum.
pieces.
Electrum pieces.
Oh, that's somewhere between silver and gold.
Yes. Yeah, electrum pieces are worth half a gold piece. Yes, this setting does use them. They're more regulated though.
Okay.
Uh,
But I do
they're like
actually have
50
that
cent
included on
coins
the.
or whatever. No one really sees them, but they exist.
yeah.
Well, there's reasons for that. There are reasons for that. Actually, for those who would like to do a little more research on it, they actually are under some of the. I don't know if it's the campaign discussion section or where it is, but it is under some of the main setting category on my Discord, which I will shamelessly plug momentarily. So,
I mean, Nightbot's been doing it for you.
well, it's been doing that for me too, yes, but I do have a command for doing that as well. So, ha 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 ha.
So you said it was 6 silver
8 silver.
or 8 silver? Okay.
Yep. Sorry, that was just me being emphatic. Like, yay! I remember the number. My mind is not going to poop.
Elrim is gonna walk up to the hippogriff and say a quick prayer of protection for it.
And I'm
Like guidance into the afterlife, as it were.
Yes.
Okay then.
yeah, and I give 4 of the silver to Jord and tell him that it would not have gone that smoothly if he hadn't had the first attack.
Well, I'm not so
Fair
sure about that.
I don't know. You're the one who started the whole plan on how to get at it before it did anything.
Well,
Sure.
let's put it all in the party fund, hey?
Is that a
For
thing?
now.
Can be.
Do we
It
have a
can be.
character sheet that just says party fund on it?
You make a
generally
note.
speaking,
Mark your notes.
yeah, you can put it in your notes.
If people are willing, we could always put that
sometimes-
towards the carriage or the
Yep.
cart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a
I
good
could
idea.
That's certainly one way to approach it.
I could just hold on to it for the
Another
cart
thing
funds.
a lot of players will often do, a lot of groups have done, is sometimes there's one player who will take on the role of treasurer, who, as the player, they can keep note of like what the party has available as like party funds. Like this is what the group has access to, that individuals are not carrying at that time. Likewise, there is also plenty of times where there is either a note taker or historian, or scribe, whatever nomenclature you would want to apply. But it's a player who will keep the notes together more consistently for the group, so that everybody knows, like, okay, this is where we're at last. So, because I'm assuming everyone's keeping their own notes for when necessary.
Yeah.
Maybe not entirely for this first quest, because it's a little more monster hunting, but still. Okay then.
I was gonna kind of add that Amberheart was gonna kind of be like, if only you weren't causing problems for people, noble beast. I would have preferred not to kill you.
So make sure everyone has a chance for some of these little post-combat moments. Amberheart and, as well as kind of recap it a little bit, Amberheart and Elrim have made some quiet and solemn words to and for on behalf of the hippogriff, the dead hippogriff. Yanni, sorry, not Yanni. Again, I'm doing it wrong. Muffin and Jored have examined the cave, found some additional salvage, or scavenge, as it were, whatever, how you want to approach it, and pragmatically figured out how they're going to figure out how it should be applied for the group in one way or the other. Yanni, you have a little bit of a distance from what's going on. What do you would like to do? Or what are you doing?
Able to take my dart back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
Oh,
So,
if I can get my arrow back, that'd be cool.
There it is.
Oh,
you can
actually,
If I could get my whistle back.
arrowhead.
if we're doing general rules, it's
Mhm.
usually like we can pick back half but round down, so technically I can't if we're going that route.
That sounds.
That's why I was saying, like,
So
you
I
can
only-
retrieve the arrowhead. You wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
necessarily retrieve the arrow without taking too long or without it risky breaking. And no offense, I was like, I'm not going to make you roll for that. So,
Yeah, I'll just leave the arrow there. I'm like, whatever.
So, okay then. So, do you guys leave? Is there anything else that you wish to do while you're in the cave or the hollow?
Oh,
I got nothing.
We want to see
I don't
if any of the farm hands or even farmer recognize the clothes at all.
That's not a bad idea.
We
We could
take-
try.
Worst case scenario, they don't, and it was just random people.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
All right. So you pack up the clothes, basically the clothes of the random humanoid body. You guys take your time to come back down the mountain, the rocky side,
should I
head
start
back to the
playing-
farm. Because you guys left in the morning to get up there. It is well into the afternoon. Like, this is like an hour or two before it would be considered like evening and like sunset's coming. So
Should I turn on more battle music? It sounds like there's a spaghetti thing happening.
that's not how spaghetti westerns work, Levi. Anyways,
Sketty combat theme. Chef versus Sketty, who will win?
spaghetti. Sorry, the chef. The spaghetti is non-intelligent, and it's not an ooze type either. Although a spaghetti ooze would be most interesting. Nevertheless,
Spaghetti ooze. Oh my god.
spaghetti ooze.
Uh,
Yes,
Chris, what was the guy's name in Tales of
a
Symphonia?
noodle mental.
The Glorious Chef or whatever?
Mental, as it were.
Oh.
Make that as a character.
So yeah.
In Tales of Vesperia, his hiding places are much more obvious.
Okay, so you guys make it back to the farm. I take it you inform Farmer Willoughby of. Yeah, it did.
Yo, we found his corpse.
Yep, killed it. It's a hippogriff. Was a
But not this
hippogriff.
corpse. This person was already dead.
Oh, the person. Yeah, the person was dead.
Oh no,
Do you
that's
happen
unfortunate.
to recognize the clothes? at
Chad
all?
has already named the guy Jim.
So he looks over the clothes. He starts bringing over some of his farming. He kind of shakes his head and he's like, asking other people on the farm to come over, take a look, and nobody recognized it. So it fortunately was just some traveler who passed, who had either it could have been on the road, they could have been up in the mountains, who knows? Some stranger is now long digested at this point. So
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
after a moment, he invites you guys to stay the night to
Recover.
eat, have dinner and everything, and then he can pay you, your due.
Yes. Indeed.
I accept.
Okay.
To both, or just one of them? Grab the money, run.
To both.
Okay, both's probably good.
Free food.
Rest never hurts.
Free food is good food.
You can hear
maybe not always,
the
but
farmer's
most of
wife busily working in the kitchen, making you guys dinner.
You made
sound
it
effects.
canon.
I have no problem with that.
Hooray.
And what is it that we're having for dinner tonight?
Spaghetti stew, I guess.
Spaghetti stew. Okay.
Well, because I would assume that there's not actually spaghetti in your world, so we'll call it marinara stew.
There we go. It's a tomato bisque. It's a tomato soup of some sort. Some good breads.
I like tomatoes. What can we say? He's a man of high skill
If you guys
ceilings.
were really here, you would be getting to have some spaghetti.
That's true. She is quite the generous hostess. So,
You should see my
and dutiful
parents.
in that regards.
Apparently, I was being loud enough in a Discord call last night that my parents decided to make cookies and bring them downstairs for all the friends I had over. I didn't have any friends over. So now we have a bunch of oatmeal chocolate chip cookies upstairs.
Can you mail some
That
to me?
sounds awesome.
He literally
You
came
kidding
into
me?
they literally came into my room with like one holding a giant Tupperware of cookies and the other just holding a gallon of milk and a stack of cups. And they're like, "Wait, it's just you? What were all those voices then?" I was like, "I'm on a call." I was like, "Are you sure you don't have friends?" I was like, "Why would they hide from you?" I don't know. I thought it was.
I was say, I mean, the smart aleck wit that I have, I'd be like, my immediate thought was, like, just start going like, what? You can't see all the ghosts that are down here too, Mom? I mean, they're all
You haven't
friendly.
realized by now all my friends are fake?
No,
Okay,
like
that's
oh,
going
you
in
hear
a whole
voices
different
too.
direction. You hear voices too. You hear them too? So I do believe at this point we have ventured off from D&D, not complaining, just converting.
No, now we're just
Fine.
talking about music.
Venturing off from
trivia aside.
D&D to just chatting, and that is fine because we are at a good wrap-up point, kind of as a fast track, kind of wrap things up for a little bit, kind of settle out for a moment.
I can dig that. I'm starting to feel tired.
Understood. So the total payment was 60 gold. Per the rules, per the guild requirements for payment, they ask for either for an equal share, basically being counting as like a sixth party member in this case, or 10%, whatever is more manageable for you guys to work with, basically. You can always pay them more if you wanted.
So we each get 10.
Well,
Yeah.
10% would be 6 if we gave it to them and kept the rest for us.
It should be 54, so that'd be 9 gold apiece.
Should we just assume that we've already given it to the guild, or? I don't know.
Well,
Or
no,
like-
because we haven't
Or
paid
yeah,
yet.
but like
Like
If-
someone has to
You
keep track.
guys got paid by the farmer.
Yeah,
So there's 5 of us in the party, right?
and we each
Correct.
got 10 gold.
If we did 6 to 10% to them. We could do 10 gold each and put the remaining 4 into a party fund.
Okay.
Works.
Good.
That would work. Yeah, that math checks out.
I thought they were paying us 50 gold.
I initially said 50 gold, then I realized that math would be more obnoxious for me to fart around with,
Oh.
or for you guys to work with. So I'm like, no, 60 is not too much more to
Okay.
make it. So it's
So
still
who
a lot
has
of
the-
money
who
for the
has the party
farmers,
fund?
sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
We
But for
should
you guys, it's like, well,
party fund control.
it's a decent amount.
Yes.
So for whoever would like to keep track for the treasurer,
Right now, I have a note of it, unless someone else wants to take note.
that is fair.
I have an idea. I have an idea for that, actually.
Please.
Of all of us, who is
Mhm.
most likely to be at most of the sessions? Guaranteed.
That is a good question.
Probably.
Because they should
me.
probably be in charge of that.
So
Did Matt die?
a viewer. So one of my mods made the suggestion in chat that I'm like, you know what, this
Party
is.
fund
I
notes
was
in the
waiting for somebody to
Discord.
make this thought, so I added for under the campaign. There is a new channel for the party funds, so you guys can add to that.
There you go.
Because I mean, if you want to add in, this could be just money. This could be equipment that you guys get. This could be
I
anything.
think
You
that's
could use it for party resources. In fact, party resources is probably a better term for it.
And right
I
now,
think that.
You are, but I was also thinking it too. Not to
right now the
diminish
party
your
fund is at
intelligence
what,
on
12?
it.
12.
Because we had, or am I thinking something?
I found 8 silver. We have 4 gold left over.
Oh, it was still okay.
So now I'm taking that out of my personal
Okay,
total.
There we go.
Okay.
And then what I will be happy to do is set up a channel for story recap so that anybody can follow along with the story as going. We can add to it. But, and of course this part I know you guys would be excited for, is we can divide up, we can lay out how much experience everyone has got thus far. So, first and foremost, one of the things that, so for defeating the Griffin, you guys will be earning a total of 40, will be earning 40 experience for having defeated the Griffin.
Aha.
The Hippogriff. Hippogriff.
Hypocrite.
Griffin is much tougher.
Yes.
How much experience?
40.
That was 40.
40. Get
apiece.
it. Dankeschön.
In addition, beyond that, I do encourage I do love and encourage good role playing, and I feel like you guys have done very good. Good role playing is it's not just cracking jokes and having fun. It's keeping in character, keeping true to that. Whether it's personifying, it's immersing ourselves in these characters, in these stories, not necessarily to an unhealthy limit, but to enough to really enjoy it on a level beyond just reading it.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys have done a really good job at that. I've gotten a really good enjoyment out of the characters. You guys have indulged me in my little moments of maybe brief glimpses of character exploration or shadowing. So as a way to encourage it further, everyone also earn yourselves an additional 20 experience for role-playing.
Ooh.
So,
Mexi.
That's
I do not believe this is enough for you guys to level up just yet,
No, it is not.
but that is something I know I
Oh.
will have to bear in mind, that with continued good role-playing, I may end up having to have to dial in the numbers a little bit. I used to have a better system in the older edition of the games. I will have to figure out a different one for the current system.
Oh my.
So with all of that, I'm going to take a moment. So, basically, like I said, fast tracking it, we will be coming back to the Tavern. And that's where we will pick our next session up from. So
Sounds
I've
good.
got a note on here. So it's actually 7. I'm getting. By the way, thank you guys. You guys, there's some notes I'm catching from the viewer from chat saying they had a good time watching this as well.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes, we
So-
will be looking into at least seeing what we can get done on a YouTube setting, potentially.
Understood. Thank you for that effort, by the way, and thank you very much. For those who don't know, Levi is the tech priest behind the beautiful character portraits that we have here. So thank you again for
I
that.
didn't draw any of that
Thanks,
artwork,
Levi.
technically, but... well, I
Well, the
kind of
layout
did for
part, at
Amber
least.
Heart's
The layout
thing.
Well, yeah.
Now, if along those lines, actually, Eddie, if I'm not mistaken, you actually do the art. Did you do the art for Jored?
I did not do it.
It's
Okay.
close enough to the things he's done that people thought he did.
That's why I thought. That's where I was getting it from the discussion in Discord. So,
I mean, I could do it. I just, with all the moving and stuff, I had literally no time to do anything.
no, that's no pressure on you for that one. I just wanted to clarify like what it was because hey, I've had a good time. I had, considering what I was saying earlier, where I was not feeling well. You guys have definitely made me feel much better. So
I can make it
thank
worse
you guys
again.
very much for that.
Laughter's
No.
the best medicine, right?
It can be, absolutely. And that's what I've had other groups tell me similar when I'm in a similar, like, I feel like crap. So thank you guys very much for that. For everyone in chat, we'll be
yes.
wrapping up here. We might be talking a little bit more in Discord. I'm probably gonna leave the call for dinner in a minute.
Mhm.
You guys, obviously you're welcome to keep talking, going like that. But our session is concluded for today. Everyone, thank you again for joining. We had a good time. Take care of each other. Safe out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, chat.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Alright. I could probably stop recording for the YouTube thing then, right?
Yeah, stop recording.